Welcome to the shack. Today we're going to explore what possibly is the absolute worst PowerBook ever made. So stay tuned and let's take a look at this thing and see what makes it so bad. How's everyone doing? So we have here a rather oddball PowerBook. So this is an original PowerBook series, and this is probably, and it actually has been ranked as one of the absolute worst PowerBooks ever made. Not because it's slow, not because of the technology, but just because of what it is. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take note that it is a PowerBook 150. Anybody who knows anything about PowerBooks knows that this is probably one of the worst PowerBooks you can find. This machine works perfectly. It's a perfectly operating computer, but man, it just lacks everything. So we're going to take a quick look. So as you see, when it's closed, it just looks like your regular old PowerBook, color Apple logo and everything. And this particular one is in perfect condition. So take a look here on the side. We have your standard 1.4 meg super drive. We have your retractable feet. And here's where it gets crazy. So you got your power jack here, uses your standard PowerBook barrel jack. And then what the heck is not this? This is nothing. I don't know who the crap designed this, but this machine has nothing. There is a Scuzzy Port, which takes, of course, the HDI 30. There is a serial port, just one, not two like normal, just one. And of course, you have your 2400 baud modem. And if you still have your power button, but there's no cover over any of this. It's just here. You're lacking a second serial port, you're lacking an ADB port, you're lacking any type of video out, everything. It's just like they just decided they just didn't want to make it. And of course, on this side we just have your normal, this is where the battery would normally go. The battery isn't in this particular machine because it's no good. So but as you can see, this computer is actually in really good shape, physically at least. So what we are going to do is we're going to plug her in. We're going to listen to it chime, and then we're going to take a look at it. The flickering that you see right now is not the screen, it is the refresh difference between my camera and the LCD screen. So as you see, this LCD is actually in beautiful shape. I mean, the typical problems is these things suffer from ghosting, lines, dim sections, everything else. This thing is actually perfect. It's amazing. And just for reference, this is not my computer. This is on loan to me from Steve Mac84 from Mac84. I actually drove to pick up this in a humongous lot of stuff, and I kept the PowerBook for the moment because I wanted to do a video on it. But not only is this the worst laptop in terms of the features it doesn't have, and believe me, there's a lot of features it doesn't have, it's also got one of the worst screens that you can have on one of these laptops. And I think we're running System 7.5 on here. Let's take a look. As soon as she gets all loaded here. So we're going to go to About This Macintosh, and yes, we are running System 7.5.3. Now, this computer's actually been upgraded pretty well, because this computer only came with 4 megabytes of memory standard, which was a fair amount of memory. It wasn't great, but it wasn't a bad amount. This computer was introduced in 1994, which was actually after the PowerBook 500 series, which had 68040 processors. This particular machine is actually pretty quick. It's a 68030 at 33 megahertz. So in terms of raw power, it's not a huge slouch. These came with either 120 or 250 megabyte hard drive. I believe this one has the 120 megabyte. Let's take a look here. Oh, that's right, I forgot. We gotta open. So we got 75.8 megs available, 44.1 megs in disk. So yes, this has the 120 megabyte hard drive. So this computer actually doesn't run System 7.53 too bad. Now, granted, there's very little on this. It's just a stock system install. There's a couple of, the Apple extra things, but that's about it. So there's no networking capability. There's no external video capability. You can't even use an ADB mouse on this thing. So if you don't like the trackball, this isn't one for you. And believe me, I don't like the trackball. So there's portable extras in here. There's a program in here to recondition your battery, which actually only works with the 500s and ups. So, but somebody upgraded this because it's got 24 megs of RAM in it, which is not too bad. I believe the maximum is 40. So 24 is pretty respectable, considering it came with 4 megabytes initially. There's not really much to explore on this computer because unfortunately there's not really much you can put on this computer. It's very difficult to put anything on here simply because there's only a floppy drive. There's nothing else. Now, you do have external Scuzzy, and there are external Scuzzy to network adapters, etc., that you can use. There's also serial to network adapters, and of course you always have local talk. I don't have a local talk network in my home, so, but it's very limited as to what you can do. The computer is only capable of 4 grays or black and white, and you can see the difference here. It didn't actually go into full true black and white mode. Well, then again, it probably did, but it's kind of hard to see. So, but what I did do is I did manage to copy a couple of games on here, and we can take a look and see exactly how bad this thing is at gaming. So this is 3D Brick Bash. Which I am a horrible gamer on these computers. But as you can see, it's extremely difficult to see the ball. I mean, it is doable, but the refresh of the screen is just absolutely horrible. This came out at a time, this was considered, I believe, to be a budget machine. Because it has no features whatsoever. It still uses a dual scan or passive matrix LCD screen, as we often call them. And as you can tell, it's very hard to see anything on the screen that's moving. It's great for text, stuff like that, but that's about it. Playing games on it is not first of all, it's hard to find games that are running on a four shade grayscale. These were like two of the only programs I could find. But here's Glypha, and you'll see this game is very hard to play. Not to mention the fact that I suck at it too. But and it actually shows up better on the camera than it does in real life. And this game is actually a clone of what was this game called? Made by William Joust. That's it. I couldn't even remember the name of the game. But it's very, you know, it's very hard to see what you're trying to do. So we're just gonna quit because I suck. And the only way I got a high score is because I played on a computer with no saved high scores. But in terms of, you know, your basic home use, stuff like that, it was actually not a bad machine. It's a great one for doing an Excel spreadsheet or some word processing, but you're definitely not going to get on the internet. The keyboard is lackluster at best. They used a cheaper mechanism. The keys are very hard to press. You know, it's not horrible. It's definitely not one of the worst keyboards, but so that sums up my feelings on the PowerBook 150. If you find one in good shape and it's cheap, grab it. Otherwise, I would say if you're looking for a good laptop from the original PowerBook era, I would definitely suggest a PowerBook 160, 165, definitely a 170. I would stay away from the 150 because of its lack of features in general. So, but this is just a quick look at the PowerBook 150 and why I think it is one of the worst laptops Apple ever made. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, check out Facebook, Patreon, and everything else. Have a wonderful day.